He is banned from doing business that we've been telling you about for the last few months. Presidential Moving LLC has racked up 147 complaints in the last 7 months. That's a lot. The government finally revoked its license just last month. And ABC2's Mallory Safaste has been able to get a copy of this investigation into Presidential. Because if it matters to you, it's a matter for Mallory.
The company started operating in August and almost immediately received complaints. The Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration opened an investigation into Presidential Moving LLC back in October, and even after citing them with 256 violations, the company was still allowed to operate up until 2 weeks ago. It was an agonizing cycle. The Inchettas hired Presidential. They moved their things in December, but the shipment didn't arrive until March.
One of the things we did do, because we had to, we went out and bought a blow-up mattress.
They were issued new charges. They couldn't get answers, and while they worked with investigators to try and find a solution, more people were falling into the same trap. But no more, at least for now. The FMCSA revoked Presidential's moving authority in March. It wasn't for the hundreds of violations discovered by investigators last year, but rather for failing to submit to a safety audit. ABC2 obtained a copy of the investigation through a Freedom of Information Act request. Investigators found that the company was actually hiring other people to do the moves, acting as a broker, but there was no broker agreement and customers were unaware of the arrangement.
And the truck is actually an enterprise rental truck. It was white with no labels or anything on it.
They didn't deliver shipments on the agreed upon date, and they tacked on more charges to binding estimates. And for a company that started operations last year, they clearly did some false advertising, highlighting their 1,200 employees, 50 trucks, and 20 years experience in the business. They also claimed to participate in an arbitration program, but the program operator said they were not a client.
You deserve to work with a company you can trust. You deserve Presidential Moving Services.
On October 31st, investigators sat down with 2 Presidential employees, one of them, Andre Shuklin, who said he was the IT coordinator. ABC2 has tied Shuklin to 15 other moving companies, including one whose license was also recently revoked, Public Moving Services. And when investigators asked Shuklin about Public Moving Services, Shuklin could not answer who they were or why the move was booked by Presidential. Sharon Worthy with the FMCSA said she could not comment on whether there will be any penalties or fines issued because this is an active investigation and both companies' websites are still active. None of this information is included and the FMCSA does not have the power to change that. There are also still people who are missing their things. Presidential can't legally do any moves right now, so the FMCSA is just telling those customers to give their hotline a call.
All right, if you'd like to see more of Mallory's reporting into rogue moving companies and the lack of government action, you can visit our website, abc2news.com/consumer. And listen, if you do have a matter for Mallory, she wants to hear from you. You can email her at mallory@wmar.com.